Alright, hello and welcome back YouTubers and synthesizer aficionados. This is an Oberheim Matrix-12 I have here, and a lot of people don't know that it's quite capable of making primitive, albeit pretty cool sounding FM synthesizer sounds. FM is not just for Yamahas and DX7s. Matrix-12 can actually do it pretty well. And I want to show you some sounds today and give you some tips and tricks on how you can use some of the FM capabilities on this wonderful synthesizer. If you haven't checked out my Getting Started in FM Programming video, you might check that out, and you can see some of the ideas that we were using there we can apply here, because this is the same thing. This is FM. Okay, let's get started. I start with a blank patch here, and what I want to do is go to the FM lag page and turn up the FM amplitude. Leave it on the VCO1. This means that the VCO2 is the modulator and the VCO1 is the carrier. Your other option is the VCF, as I showed you before. We're not doing that today. We're doing frequency modulation like on the DX7 Yamaha synthesizers. So, okay, we have this set up, and VCO1, go ahead and turn that down to 0. VCO2, this is the modulator, and what we do is like kind of tune to an interval that's sounding pretty interesting. Okay, so far that's still pretty boring, but what happens if I start to detune it? That's pretty interesting. Let's go to the filter. Now that's sounding pretty cool. Let's get the envelope involved, envelope 1. And here I can add some attack. Of course you won't hear it until we turn it up on the VCF page where the modulation is here. Now we can hear what envelope 1 is doing a little bit more. Envelope 2, as you know, goes to the VCA. Let's kick in a little release. VCO1, what happens if I start messing with the frequency? Remember, this is the carrier. This is where the pitch of the sound will come into play. We don't have 4 operators here. We only have 2. So the carrier is going to have the frequency. But if we change the frequency, it changes the ratio, the relationship of the pitch of VCO2 and 1 in an interesting way. Well, I like some of the interesting things I'm hearing there, so I'll assign it. Let's assign an LFO to that and kick that up. We can look at our LFO1, make it be something interesting. Go back and change the amount here. That's sounding pretty cool. Okay, and at this point, even though we're doing FM, feel free to go to VCO1 and try different waveforms. VCO2. Changing both of them to poles. What about triangle waveform on both of them? Turning off everything else. Sounding kind of a bell tone type sound. I can go back to the envelope one, which is acting on my VCF, and turn the attack down and give it more of a percussion type contour. You can increase the resonance on the filter. I left out the part where I turned keyboard tracking down. For the higher registers, they were just sounding too harsh. Okay, that's just too much, so try different filters. This is a phaser, you know? So, being a phaser, it should be modulated by an LFO real slowly. Wow, and I don't even have any effects on this thing. We can go back and try our different waveforms again. Not forgetting about noise. Put that in there. So try a VCO1, changing the amount. That's kind of cool. I can assign LFO1 to that. You have to go pretty far before you run out of modulations on the Matrix-12. I don't know, there's something like 20 or something? But I also have a phaser with a low pass available to me here. What's that gonna do? You can go back to VCO2 and try changing the frequency again. See what else comes up. VCO1, let's get rid of the LFO that was modulating the volume, and let's modulate the carrier instead. LFO1. Wow, that's really cool. I mean, there's so much you can do with FM on the Matrix-12, even though you just have one carrier, one modulator. You can even modulate the amount of FM with another LFO, LFO3. Kick up the speed of that one. This is what it's about. There's seems to be with all these modulations, there's no end in sight to all the mayhem that you can cause with this synthesizer.